It started with a silence that didn't feel like peace, but like the world holding its breath. Somewhere between midnight prayers and unanswered cries, a voice broke through the veil of dreams, soft yet thundering, ancient yet new. "Your absence is killing them," Jesus whispered. Not in anger, not in judgment, but in a sorrow so deep it seemed to echo across the heavens. And if you're listening now, if you've ever felt like the world was colder when you stepped back, like the light dimmed when you disappeared, this isn't just a message. It's your awakening. You were never meant to blend in, and yet you did. You were never made to stay hidden, and yet you retreated. Into silence, into shadows, into numbness. But the world noticed. Heaven noticed. And above all, He noticed. Jesus, the one who walked with outcasts and wept with the broken, is not calling you to be perfect. He's not calling you because you're ready. He's calling you because your presence shifts atmospheres, your voice breaks chains, and your light, even flickering, is still strong enough to guide a soul home. There's someone barely holding on because you're not where you're supposed to be. And He felt their ache. That's why He came to you in the quiet. That's why He whispered those 7 soul-piercing words. Your absence is killing them. Years ago, maybe you felt it, that burning inside, the knowing that you were made for something more. Not in a loud way, not in a prideful way, but in that quiet, sacred way that chosen ones feel when they see beyond the surface. You felt people's pain more deeply, noticed the loneliness behind their smiles, heard the cries they never said out loud. And because of that, you carried more. You got tired more. You hid more. Because being chosen didn't feel like a gift. It felt like a burden. Like being the lighthouse that could never go dark, even when the storms threatened to shatter your walls. So you pulled away. Not out of selfishness, but survival. You had to breathe. You had to escape. But in your absence, something broke. Chains retightened. Voices fell silent. Lights dimmed. Because whether you believe it or not, you were holding more together than you knew. There's a young girl out there, crushed by shame, who would have survived one more night if she heard you speak life. A boy who prays for a sign that someone like him still matters, still has a purpose. There's a mother drowning in grief, aching for a moment of hope. And your story, your broken, still healing testimony, would have been the lifeline. They don't know your name, but they feel the void you left. Because chosen ones don't just impact, they anchor. They carry an invisible blueprint of healing in their presence. You weren't just made to walk through life. You were made to walk others out of death. And Jesus saw them stumbling in your absence. He heard them whisper into the dark, "Where is the one who used to hold the light?" That's when He turned to you, not to condemn you, but to wake you up, to say, "It's time." You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to be fearless or perfect or overflowing. You just have to return. Come back. Not to the spotlight, but to the mission. Come back. Not to impress, but to impact. Jesus isn't calling you to perform. He's calling you to be present. Because presence changes things. Your presence, even silent, even wounded, heals atmospheres. It comforts the unseen. It reminds the forgotten that someone still sees them. And when He said, "Your absence is killing them," it wasn't to scare you. It was to remind you of who you are when you forget. Because chosen ones don't get the luxury of vanishing. When they go missing, the world mourns in ways it can't explain. Shadows deepen. Hearts grow colder. Hope flickers. Because the ones meant to carry the fire are gone. And here's the part you didn't know. Hell celebrated when you disappeared. The darkness clapped when you went quiet. Because you weren't just another voice. You were a weapon against despair. You were the answer to prayers you never heard. And when you left, the enemy knew he gained inches. But heaven didn't give up. Heaven came looking. Jesus stepped into the quiet between your sobs and spoke what no one else had the courage to. That your existence matters more than you know. That your silence costs souls. That you're not optional, you're critical. Because when chosen ones move, healing moves. When chosen ones speak, strongholds break. And when chosen ones return, destinies realign. But here's the twist. The ones you're meant to help, they're still waiting. They haven't given up on you. They're hurting, yes. Confused, yes. But in their spirit, they know. They know someone's coming. Someone brave enough to tell the truth. Someone raw enough to be real. Someone broken enough to understand. That someone is you. Not the perfect version. Not the polished version. The real you. The one who's survived hell but still walks in love. The one who's cried but still shows up. The one who doubts sometimes but still believes there's more. That's who the world is dying for. That's who the enemy fears. And that's who Jesus is calling back. Urgently, lovingly, relentlessly. So what now? You can ignore the voice. You can go back to numbing. You can pretend this isn't about you. But deep down, you already know it is. You felt it the moment those words were spoken. Your absence is killing them. And you didn't just hear it. You remembered. You remembered who you are. You remembered what it feels like to be needed. Not for what you have, but for who you are. You remembered that every scar you carry has a purpose. Every tear you cried was witnessed. Every moment you almost gave up was recorded by heaven. Not to shame you, but to empower you. Because now you understand what you carry. Now you know the weight of absence. And now you choose. Will you stay hidden? Or will you return? Not with answers, but with presence. Because presence is enough. You don't need the perfect words. Just be there. Show up. Speak light. Hold space. Breathe hope. And if your voice shakes, let it shake. If your heart breaks, let it break open. Because in your breaking, others find healing. In your rising, others find strength. You are the domino that starts the awakening. You are the spark in the cave of silence. You are the chosen one. And your time is now. So come back, not to prove anything, not to impress anyone. Come back because they're waiting. Come back because heaven believes in you. Come back because Jesus already saw the end of your story. And it ends in light. It ends in impact. It ends with lives saved, chains shattered, destinies reclaimed. All because you chose to return. All because when he said, "Your absence is killing them," you didn't run, you rise.